Welcome everybody, Wayne Johns here and welcome to episode 12. And in this episode we're going to talk about ND filters. We're going to talk about what they are and what they do. But first have a little look at this and we'll be straight back. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this one because we've got a free giveaway, okay? But it's not to the end. See you then. Okay, so ND filters. Now, we use them in both stills and video. And we have a couple of different types. We have the traditional square ND filter and we have the round ND filter. Okay, now, the square ones photographers will be used to, especially landscape photographers. And generally, I mean, this is a Kokin P series holder. This is like 75mm one. That basically screws on the front of your lens with a little adapter ring, and you can get these ND filters like this that then drop in the front like that in front of your lens. Now, these come in different strengths, and these may be known as ND2s, ND4s, ND6s, 8s, etc, etc. Now, what does an ND filter do? Well, it reduces the amount of light coming into your camera, in through your lens into your camera, without changing the color of your scene. Now I say that loosely because if you get a cheap branded one, you probably get some color fringing and your focusing may go off to the edge of frame either. But generally, you get a good one. Kokin, I mean, there's lots of other brands out there as well. You've got Kokin. P types are this size, Z types are for the bigger ones that fit medium format. And you've got Lee, you've got Manfrotto, Tiffin, Hoya, Heliopan, Hi-Tech, B&W, and the list goes on, okay? Now, ND2s, ND4s, ND6s, what do those numbers mean? Well, basically, an ND2 halves the amount of light coming in through your lens, and it goes on. So an ND4 would be half the amount of light, an ND6, an ND8, etc, etc, and it goes on in terms of stops. Now, landscapers may be big fans of they call it the Big 10 stopper. I know Lee do one, the big stopper. And that's like a 10 stop. I mean, those things are good for if you want to really darken down your scenery or do long exposures. So if you want any movement, so you're photographing a nice harbor scene and the sea is crashing in and you have some gentle waves in there, you chuck something like a big 10 stopper on there and your sky and your sea is going to be complete milky blur of smoothness and look gorgeous. Those are great for that. Now they also come in graduated versions as well. So you can put a graduated part at the top of the sky to darken your sky down. If you photograph fashion like I do, sometimes they're good to darken the skies down to pull out your modeling, your scene a little bit more. So ND filters, multiple uses, and the good things with these holders is that you can fit more than one filter in this little frame. It's got 3 slots in there, so that just drops in there like that, and that's just a little protector to go over the front of there. So that's those, the square ND filters, all nice and good. Now we also have round versions, but this one's a little bit different. This one is a variable ND. And it basically means that I can vary the strength of the ND, the 2, the 4, the 6, etc. within the filter itself. And let me show you what that does. So here's the round ND, okay, and it's variable. Now we use this a lot in video, purely because in video, some of our native ISOs for filming is 800 ISO. Now you've got to remember, we're filming at different shutter speed rates for film, so we might be filming at 25 frames per second, so we're at 1/50th shutter speed. Now, if you want to keep your aperture quite wide open for shallow depth of field, and you're outside in normal daylight, 800 ISO, your exposure is going to be way blown over. So this is where the variable NDs come in handy. And it means we can stop down the light without changing lots and lots of filters. And this is what this one does, basically. It's a variable, so it's wide open as it is now. You know, we can darken it down to N4, 6, and all the way down to 8, okay? So we can stop them down to variable NDs all built in. That's the good thing with these. Now, some film cameras, they have ND filters built in. you know, some of the newer Canon C100s and the C100s, the C series and the Sony FSs and things like that have ND filters built in. They dial in sort of, you've got three options for an ND filter. You can dial in, it drops a little ND filter over the sensor on the inside. Whereas our DSLRs or you know, mirrorless cameras like the Fuji X-T2 and things that we're filming on today don't have those built in. So this is where these come in handy, especially when filming F-Log and native ISO is 800. Okay, so that's where they come in handy. Really, really good. The only problem is that with these, variable NDs can be really, really expensive. They both can really, especially when you get to the higher end brands. You know, you start getting in the Lees and the Tiffins and the Heliopans and the Manfrottos. B&W, that's B&W, not BMW, by the way, just so you don't get confused. You're not buying a car. Some of these can be very pricey. Now this one is an 82mm, so this actually fitted the Fujifilm X MK Cine lenses. That's the filter size of that. So that's an 82mm thread. So the only downside is that that will only fit an 82mm. So what you don't want to do is then go and buy lots of other filters to fit all your other lenses, because it will cost you an absolute fortune. I mean, one of these is about 250 quid. Cost you an arm and a leg in variable, and this is a thin version as well, a slim version, because they will be quite chunkier than that. Okay, so we've got another option, and the magic option when we get to this, and the little trick with it, is all down to these little babies just here. It looks a bit odd, doesn't it, like this? Okay? I am tricking you a bit here because these actually come apart, all right? These are actually 2 units. So if I take this apart, they're actually sitting like that, okay? So what are these? Well, these are filter ring adapters, okay? They're what we call step up and step down rings. So it means that I can buy, oh, wrong one, one big filter like this, and I can put that in the front of there, and it means that I can then, these all undo, these are individual rings. Let me show you. Those of you that may not know what these are, each one of these screws off. It's just put together like this for a kit, just to show you. But you get the idea, I'm not going to take them all off. So it means now that I can screw this in different sizes all the way down to my other lenses. So this one, it currently is a 55 to 58mm. Okay, so it gives me a 58mm thread down to a 55 to screw into my lens. And it goes up through a varied range up to 82, and this one goes all the way down to a 37 that steps up to a 48mm. Okay, so they are step up rings, and they're the opposite, they're step down. So you can go from a big lens and screw that down to smaller filters if you wanted to go that way. That's the joy of these. So that's the joy and a little trick of what we do, so it doesn't cost us an absolute fortune, okay? Step up, step down rings. They're all metal, all made of metal. And if you get really bored in between takes, it also becomes quite a fun little toy that you can spin around your table. I don't know why I'm doing that. We're in between takes. Who knows? See, they have many uses. They keep me entertained for hours. Now, like I was saying, with the variable ND filters, this is a new brand. I've not tried this before, and this is a brand called Zomme. Now, I'm not sponsored by them, but I just bought these to see what they'd be like. And I can tell you from the filming that we've done on them with the MK Cine lenses, I'm really happy with these. They're really good quality. And I didn't really get any color fringing that I can see, not yet, but I was filming in log. But they did the job well. We filmed in very bright sunlight and a very bright day. And you know, we were filming 1/48th so of a second, and we were probably about f4, f4.5 with our apertures, keeping it wide open for shallow depth of field, and we had to use these at a full 8 ND8 stop on that. So, but they worked a treat. So there's a little tip for you: is to use step up and step down rings. It'll save you spending, well, to cover your whole lens is probably around 600, 700, 800, 900, £1,000, depending how many you've got to buy and how what brand you buy. But the good thing is, you've got an opportunity now to win this set of step up and step down adapter rings. Okay, there's 18 pieces here, 9 step up and 9 step down rings, and you've got the chance to win this. This is our free giveaway for today. So if you want to be in with a chance in our free giveaway to win this beautiful set. Well, not this one, because these are mine, but I'll give you a duplicate set that are brand new and still in the packaging, don't worry. But if you want a chance to win this lovely 18-piece set of step up, step down adapter rings, filter adapter rings, all you have to do is follow the link below and subscribe to our new and upcoming podcast channel. Yes, that's right, folks. We've got a podcast channel coming your way. Okay, and the name of that podcast channel is PODLAMANIA. Let me put that into three syllables for you. PODLAMANIA. PODLAMANIA. Rolls off the tongue really, really nice. We took ages to choose that name, by the way. PODLAMANIA. If I say it once more, PODLAMANIA. Does it roll off your tongue yet? It's a subliminal message I'm putting in your minds, because if I say it enough times, PODLAMANIA, 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 it might stick in your brain, or it might just become really annoying. But yeah, that's coming. So that's a new podcast that's going to be photography and video based. And we're going to be interviewing some amazingly talented creative people. We've got a great lineup put together already, which we're now recording. And that's going to be great photographers, videographers, editors, DPs, retouchers, stylists, makeup artists, models, art directors, you name it, we're covering across the board. But for the first batch of interviews, we're interviewing a lot of talented photographers from a lot of talented fields. So if you're going to be interested in the photography and video podcast of PODLAMANIA, then please subscribe to that below. It's in the link below. And we're going to keep the subscription open for a month to win this. Okay, so you're going to get 30 days from when this video goes live, and then after those 30 days we will look at all the new subscribers that have subscribed to the new podcast, PODLAMANIA, in case you forget, and then we may do a live name out of a hat kind of scenario to announce the winner of this lovely 18-piece adapter filter set, step up, step down filter set. There will be more free giveaways as we go through the series in the podcast as well. And at a later date, we will be filming some of those. So you'll be able to see who we're interviewing and watch the interviews with multiple camera setups. And, you know, we'll put that over on YouTube at a later date. But to start off, the podcast will be just audio, but it's going to be good. We've been working hard to get all this together, and we're really excited to bring it to you. And it's very, very, you know, those things are very popular at the moment. So you can listen to them on the way to work, or on a journey, or in your car on your way back, or in an evening if you just want to chill out. Each podcast will last about 45 minutes to an hour long. So remember, folks, in 30 days from once this goes live, we will keep the competition open for this free giveaway. And in 30 days time, we'll go through the new subscribers list to the podcast. That's PODLAMANIA. And we will then pick the lucky winner to win these. Okay, but I mean, thanks for joining me on this little short one on ND filters. I hope there's a little bit of info for some of you. There's probably a lot of you that already use them, but now you know about the variable NDs as well as the standard square ones. So thanks for joining me, and the same as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Please share these on YouTube for us, okay? And in case you've forgotten it, don't forget to subscribe to the new podcast, PODLAMANIA. Okay, thanks for joining me, folks, and we'll see you all again soon for the next one. Bye for now.